Hey, everybody, welcome to Physical Friday. We are off to an awesome start for a new year, and really glad to have you here on Physical Friday. This year on Physical Friday, we're going to try to do all kinds of cool things to keep us all motivated and disciplined towards our goals. And a lot of people have a goal of losing weight or putting on muscle, getting stronger. That really boils down to what you're doing in the kitchen, in my opinion. You can lose weight by obviously exercising more will help, but what you put into your body is very, very important. Last year, I started to pay more and more and more attention to that and got on something that is called the Carbon app, the Carbon Diet Coach. The Carbon Diet Coach is not a sponsor of this show. I pay for it just like you would. And I like it very, very much. I like it a lot for a few reasons. There are many different diet plans on there. I choose the balance plan. There's a keto plan. There's a vegetarian plan. I think there's a low carb plan. You can pick whichever one you want. They're not trying to tell you which diet to pick, but you take some measurements, you let them know how much you're working out and what your goals are and what diet you would like to be on. I chose balanced, and it sets your macronutrients. It sets your macronutrients, which means the amount of calories you're going to eat in the day, the amount of those calories, how much of those are carbohydrates, how much are fat, and how much are protein. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple when you start to do it, but most people, including myself, when I'm not tracking what I'm eating, I'm all over the place. I'm not eating enough protein. I'm eating way too many carbohydrates and way too much fat. Therefore, my calories are way higher than I need. And meanwhile, I'm missing the main muscle building ingredient, the protein. So I got on the Carbon app, and since March, I have been recording everything that I eat. That sounds incredibly boring and incredibly meticulous, but the way that they do this, it's very easy. If you have a meal that you have often, say you have steak and mashed potatoes and broccoli, and you can put that in there into the Carbon app, and that's one of your meals. If you have I'll go out and I'll get these meals from a place called Vibrant Meals, and they're prepackaged training meals, fresh food, but put into a little meal. So you might have some rice and some steak and some vegetables in there. And each time I get this same meal, it has the same macronutrients. I can put that in there. So every time I eat that, I just click the button and it registers it for me. I have most of the stuff that I eat is already in there. They also have a scanning thing. You can scan barcodes and it will show up in there. The point being that the amount of calories, the amount of carbohydrates, protein, and fat that you're eating is like your fuel tank in your boat. And if you don't know how much you're putting in and you don't know how quickly you're burning that fuel on the way out, you're either likely to run out of gas or, for the way our bodies work, is the opposite, to store. You get fatter and fatter and fatter. Right? So I look at the amount of food and this Carbon app as like the fuel tank and a speedometer. And you just know you got a good idea what you're doing. It's really like a bank account too. You have so much money in the bank account. If you spend too much, you get in trouble. If you don't spend enough, you're doing great. Works just the opposite, right? You want to have a caloric deficit, and you can lose weight. Otherwise, you're not going to lose weight. So I have been using that since March, and a lot of people have asked how, if I stuck with it. And yes, I have stuck with it. I really like it a lot. Lost 20 pounds. And one of the things that I like about the Carbon app as well is that if you get to a place that you're comfortable, you can set it for maintaining the weight. And I can maintain my weight by following the calories and the carbs, protein, and fat that it sets for me. And I can maintain my weight within, let's just say I want to be 175, and it'll maintain my weight between 173 and 177. If I get over 177, it's going to adjust it. You gotta eat less. If I get under 173, you got to eat more. so I can maintain that 175. So this isn't a commercial for the Carbon app as much as it might sound like that. There are a lot of apps out there that will allow you to track food. You can track your food on a piece of paper, on a notebook. You can track your food any which way. But as you're getting ready for this year, and a lot of people are setting their goal for losing weight, tracking your food and knowing exactly how many calories you're putting in your body and how that breaks down between carbohydrates, fat, and protein is very, very important, at least in my opinion, to being successful in getting to your weight loss goal. So whether you're tracking with a Carbon app or whether you're tracking with something else, whether you're using a dietitian or a nutritionist, all of those things are fantastic. I encourage you to do all of them or any of them that works the best for you in your life. But the point being that if you don't know, if you're just eating whatever and kind of hoping for the best, it's tough in this world. There's a lot of really high calorie, high carbohydrate, high fat foods out there that taste unbelievably good. And the other thing is that they have all these great health claims on the front of the package. They're telling you how great it is for you. And it's keto or it's this or it's that. But man, at the end of the day, you step back on that scale and you're like, I'm not getting to where I want to be. Tracking your food could be a solution. It was for me. And the Carbon app is a really good one. Carbon Diet Coach, I like that one, but there's a bunch of other ones out there. It doesn't really matter to me which one you use, but tracking your food has been incredibly good for me. I've learned a lot about food. I've learned a lot about how my body responds to food, and I have been successful in getting to the weight that I wanted to be. And it's been great for performance in the gym. It's been great for just everything. Just feel a lot better, sleeping a lot better. Everything is better without the 20 pounds. So the way I did it was by tracking. Maybe that's a suggestion that you can think about as you're putting your goal down, that you want to achieve a certain weight loss goal for this year. Think about that. Tracking your food might be a good answer. And whether you do it with an app or a piece of paper, either way, it is like a bank account, like a fuel tank in your boat. And if you think about it like that, sure did make a lot of sense to me. All right. Good luck with your weight loss goals. If you want to share those with me, I'd love to hear about them. That is area code 305-930-7346. That's the text number. You can text me that number. And if you have some questions about diet, maybe we could get some people on the show this year that would be very helpful for you and your diet. And I'd also like to learn from them. So if you have suggestions or you have questions that I can't answer, I would love to try to get some experts on the show that would help you and in turn help me as well to understand more about our body, understand more how we can operate at an optimal level so that we can keep hunting and fishing for the rest of our life. That's what we're doing here on Physical Friday on the Tom Rowland podcast, and I hope to bring you the best experts and the best information in this new year. All right, good luck for you in your weight loss goals or whatever your goal is for this year. I'll see you next week on Physical Friday.